Hey guys, what's going on? This is mistavp coming back at you with another Jurassic World unboxing and review video. Today what we have is the Indoraptor. And man, I gotta tell you, especially today, after seeing the final Jurassic World trailer drop, and it heavily featured this dinosaur, I am so much more excited than ever before. I gotta tell you, I was a little hesitant to even think about liking the Indoraptor, just because I am a huge fan of the Indominus Rex from the original Jurassic World. I mean, if you think about it, that whole movie was about the Indominus Rex, and it was such a cool looking dinosaur that I initially hated, because I'm like, hey, the T-Rex is the big bad. You can't get bigger and badder than that. And then the Indominus Rex just kind of like showed us that, hey, there's bigger fish in town. This thing is tough, it's mean, it's relentless, and it's awesome looking. And you know, at the end they left a little bit of a cliffhanger. Yes, we saw the Mosasaurus pull it under the water, but you know, we didn't know for sure if it was going to make a comeback either in Jurassic World 2 or 3. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't seen the trailer and is holding off, but basically now the big bad is essentially the Indoraptor. And in the trailer it shows that this dinosaur is very much the spiritual successor, if not a anatomical, whatever the word is, successor to the Indominus Rex. I mean, definitely shares a lot of DNA and stuff. But just looking at this figure compared to some of the other ones, it has a little bit of a gloss to it. Now, I don't know if that's how the dinosaur is going to appear in the film, or if that's just merely to show that the Indoraptor tends to show up in scenes where it's raining and dark and wet, and maybe that's why, because it's like a permanent wetness on there. I don't know. But it still looks awesome. I like the detail on like the paint apps, like that yellow stripe that was hand painted going down the entire body. I'm a little, I don't know, apprehensive about the eye painting. Now, I do have two of these Indoraptors, and I noticed that they both have the same like red dots around the eye, so that's not a defect as I initially thought. But it looks a little weird, and I don't think it actually looks like that in the movie, so I'm kind of curious why they did that. So anyways, let's take a look at the box. Now, a big difference you'll see on this box versus some of the normal Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom boxes is that there's no orange anywhere. There's no yellow, there's no red. There's no indication that the Indoraptor was ever on Isla Sorna, or I'm sorry, Isla Nublar, like the other ones. So basically there's no Mount Saibo picture, there's nothing to indicate that, you know, she was on the island. But what you do have is a nice rainy scene in the background, a nice blue, dark, rainy scene, which I kind of alluded to already, that I feel like the Indoraptor is going to be showcased in that type of environment. So you still have Owen and Blue on the front there, which is great to see. Indoraptor, the name of it is right there. The little description on the front says superposable, which you can already see just by looking at it. There's all kinds of joints, ball joints, pivot joints everywhere on this thing, which is awesome to see. I can't wait to set it up to mimic some of the poses that we've already seen in the trailer and ultimately in the movie. So on this side here, just the Jurassic World logo. On the other side, again, just the Jurassic World logo. The top, just that Jurassic World logo yet again. And the bottom, just some assembly instructions, how to attach the tail. It just goes in. And then some boring safety information, trademarks, and stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's look at the back. And this is probably the coolest part of this box. On the back, you see the Indoraptor posed in two different ways. So you see it as it's seen in the trailer a couple times, hunched over like it's, you know, a four-legged dinosaur, which looks really cool. And then you see it like lurched upwards, roaring, which is just awesome. And it even says right in there, movie authentic posability. So it looks like we're going to have plenty of options and plenty of ways we can finagle this and get it to look just like it does in the movie. Some cautions, like don't eat any parts that come off of this, because why would you want to? Also showcases a couple other items that are available, such as Owen with Blue, and then Claire with the I guess you want to call it like battle damage, even though it's not technically under that line, but it's definitely a damaged gyrosphere. You can see the glass is all shattered on there. So with that being said, let's pop open this box here. Now I've already pre-cut some of the tape on here because I know it can kind of get a little boring watching me clip tape, so I'm just going to go ahead and bypass that. Okay. And there we go. And just tear that tape up. Okay. And it looks like, for the most part, the Indoraptor is just held on with this plastic clamshell that's glued to the back of the box. And there's the end segment of the tail. And it looks like there's just a few ties holding the Indoraptor to that plastic clamshell. So we'll just come in here and snipperoni that. And snipperoni that. That one there. And there's a larger tie around the neck. And one more here on the other leg. And I think that, oh, there's a couple more here. There we go. Okay, so that's it for the packaging. Toss that away because we don't need that. And as the assembly instructions state, pop that tail right in there and nice. It seems like it's going to click in. Maybe I'm doing it backwards. Okay, yeah, so it clicks in there, nice. Okay, so first impressions, wow, there's literally posability in every single joint. This thing is cool. Oh man. So, honestly, when I first saw the pictures of this toy, I really thought that they were going for like a xenomorph type of look for this character. So, a xenomorph, if you don't know, is the character from the Alien movies. It's the really ugly looking, shiny black, always wet, menacing, horrific looking alien. And I kind of get that vibe from the Indoraptor, I'm not going to lie. Now I saw that there was, in like a promotional bit for one of the magazines that, that Chris Pratt had starred in, that they had like an exclusive couple pictures with him posing with a statue of that Indoraptor, and boy, I hope that that's an animatronic that they used in the film, because that thing looks mean. And really, that's the first time I've seen it look like a mini Indominus Rex. Like, don't get me wrong, it definitely has the vibes of the Indominus, but seeing it in the trailer and seeing it in that, I think it was like Entertainment Weekly or something like that, in that special with Chris Pratt, I feel like that's the closest that I've seen it look like the Indominus. So, speaking of the Indominus, let's do some comparisons here. So, this is the Indominus Rex from the Hasbro Jurassic World series. Never got around to opening this. Maybe I'll do that in the future. But these things have like skyrocketed in price, so maybe I won't. I don't know. But you definitely see a lot of similarities. So you've got the red eyes, even though I'm pretty sure in the trailer they showed to be more of a orangey color. You've got the frills on the backs. You got frills on the back of the neck. And just the overall structure is pretty similar. Obviously the big contrast here is that the Indominus Rex, although he appears gray, or she, whatever, appears gray, they call it white in the movie. And the Indoraptor couldn't be further from that color. It is black. So, and the other stark difference, obviously besides size, is the toes. So as you famously see in the second and final trailer, the Indoraptor, as a callback to the first movie with the Raptors, does a little ticking against the ground of that retractable claw, which is just a really cool thing to see. So another comparison that I wanted to do is between the Indoraptor and Blue. Now this is the blue that comes with the Owen figure. Now they are a good bit smaller, and it's really tough to say whether or not that's an accurate scale representation, because the Indoraptor is definitely not as small as blue, but it's definitely not as big as the Indominus Rex. It's somewhere in the middle, and it's really tough to say just where that size is. So I think blue appears a little bit small here compared to the Indoraptor, but again, we won't know for sure until we see it more featured in the film. Owen looks more in scale here, just judging by that scene where he's in the little girl's bedroom, and the Indoraptor is stalking her. So put these guys aside for now. Now another comparison that I'd like to make is the Thrash and Throw T-Rex. Now I haven't unboxed this yet, but I think this is probably pretty close to in scale. Again, the Indominus Rex was bigger than the T-Rex, very slightly. The Indoraptor is probably about a third the size, whereas a Raptor is probably a fifth the size. So I feel like this is pretty accurate, but again, we won't know for sure because there's no scenes that show them together in the film, or at least in the trailers. Who knows if they're going to be in the film together? I mean, they could be in two separate areas, but you never know. So, wanted to show that. Also, just for comparison, I want to show the smaller T-Rex, the one that comes in the package with the Monolophosaurus. This is the battle damaged T-Rex. This is smaller. I think it's a little small in scale wise to that, so maybe not the best one. Again, I think that Thrash and Throw is the perfect size, but still cool to see together. And lastly, and I know this is way out of scale, but let's take a look at that big, huge, super colossal T-Rex, which probably won't even fit in the frame here, but yeah, that's probably about the size of the T-Rex with like a Raptor. They're just yeah, I don't think that's that's not in scale at all. So we'll just set her aside for now. So what do you guys think about this? The coloration looks awesome. That color, the shiny black, looks really cool. Looks different. Posability, again, we'll start from the top here. So obviously the jaws open nice and wide. There is then a upper neck swivel here, and that rotates 360 degrees. There's also a lower neck joint here, which is really cool, so then you can really get some great poses out of that. Moving back to the arms, you've got these lovely ball joints, which are very much appreciated, right at the shoulder. And then as you move down to the elbow joint, there's an elbow joint, also on a 360 degree swivel ball joint. And then you move down to the wrist, and the wrist is on a ball joint as well, also moves up and down, similarly to the other ball joints. There's no visible articulation of the fingers, which is fine. I feel like they'd be too small anyways to be playing around with. Moving backwards to the legs here, looks like you have a nice swivel on the thigh. Oh yeah, it moves in or out as well, which is cool. Again, unexpected, but very much appreciated. You then have a knee joint, which moves forward and back, and you do have some rotational side-to-side movement as well, because that is also on a ball joint. Then as you move back, there is another ball joint on the foot here, which is really, really awesome. I can't wait to pose this thing, honestly. Alright, so it doesn't look like there's any articulation on the foot. Not too disappointed with that. And then as we move back here, the tail is in two segments. The first segment attaches right to the body and is on a ball joint here, but is kind of limited in motion just because it won't fit around the you know, the outside edge of the body here. but it's still, you're going to get tons of motion from it, up and down, side to side, all the way around. And then I'm a little hesitant to play with this joint, but this does also move around a little bit. I didn't hear it click together or anything, so I'm just afraid that it's going to just come out easy. Even though I'm tugging on it, and it's not, but still, I probably wouldn't play with that too much. But yeah, I'm so pumped with this figure, and I can't wait to see it in the movie. Like I said before, that third trailer dropped today, the final trailer for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and the Indoraptor is heavily featured in it. I think a little bit too much. I don't feel like there was too many, spoilers in there, but I would have liked to see it a little less and wait to see it fully in the movie. I hope that they fully utilize it in like daytime shots and not just the very dark, very wet atmosphere that it seems to be in. I know that they're gonna go for like the horror side, but I would love to see this thing out running in the daylight. Like, I think it would look cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think. I personally love this figure, and for $19.99, for 20 bucks, I can't see why you wouldn't want it in your collection. It's definitely really high quality. It reminds me of like NECA quality. So like I've got a few NECA Godzilla figures, and there's so much posability, so nice. The material feels really nice. It looks awesome. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see next. I still have that massive collection that I have to go through. Thank you for those of you who suggested that I do the Indoraptor next. I've gotten a lot of suggestions on doing the Mosasaurus, so that will probably be next, unless you guys think I should do something else. And remember to like the video, comment. I love reading comments, and I love replying to comments. It's one of my favorite things to do. And also, remember to subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos that are coming up. I have a lot more content for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom coming up. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.